Welcome to another lesson by YourTechVision.com. Dr. Denise M. Robinson here to give you a lesson on how to speed up your machine. Now, if you look on YouTube, there's going to be a lot about how to speed up your performance. However, this one's slightly different. This is actually how to clean it. And by cleaning it the correct way, you will actually speed up your computer and put it back to it acting like when you first opened it up. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is go down to my chevron button. So if you're blind, you can do Windows B right here on the chevron button, enter and open. And I'm going to take you to Malwarebytes. And if you open your Malwarebytes, this is the most phenomenal program there ever was in keeping your computer clean and, of course, working well. If you don't want to do a good Malwarebyte, whether it's Malwarebytes or another program, your computer is going to slow down. Malware is pretty much just as bad as virus. You're talking cold and flu. Okay, so viruses maybe a smidge more, but it's a really, really bad cold, and either one of them is going to affect you very negatively. And of course, the other one is get a good software program that will clean your viruses. Windows Defender is great. I work those in combination. Malwarebytes is the one that actually rules in keeping my computer updated. The next one is, I want you to Windows R. That's your Run dialog box. So sit on your Windows and hit R for your Run dialog box. And I want you to go to your App Data Temp folder, and that's %, so Shift 5, T-E-M-P, Shift 5 again for %, and hit Enter, or type it in. Okay, so I have just cleaned up my computer a couple of days ago, and you can already see all the garbage. Any single time you do anything on your computer, it immediately leaves a track in your App Data Local Temp file. I'm also going to tell you, if you've lost a file someplace, go here, because it's probably accidentally saved here. Many computers are actually meant to auto save here unless you change that default. So if you open a file from the internet and then you close this file without realizing it's actually in your App Data Local Temp, you can't find it. So go here and look for it. So there are two different ways to clean this. The first, what you want to do is Control A, select it all. Yes, you can right click on your mouse and select all that way. Control A is faster. You can just hit the delete key, but if you hit just the delete key, it goes into the recycle bin. If you know you don't want this, then I want you to just hold down your shift and hit delete, and that will bypass the recycle bin and permanently delete it. So I'm just going to do shift delete. And of course, it asks you, are you sure you want to delete these items? And I say yes, and there they go. Now, you're going to notice that a box comes up that says, well, the file's in use. Yes, because it's accessing my RAM, R-A-M, random access memory. And when you turn on your computer, that is what you are using. So if you want to clean those files, as soon as you turn on the computer, you want to go to your temp folder and then get rid of everything. You don't need to do that right off the bat. What you can do is Alt-A to say, do this for all current items, or check on that checkbox, and Alt-S to skip. Okay, and you can skip those for now. If you do not do Shift Delete, I'm going to Alt F4 and close. You're going to go back to the recycle bin, and you can right click on it and empty recycle bin, but you can see it's not highlighted because it is empty. So the next, after you get rid of all of that, is you want to go to Disk Cleanup. So I'm going to hit my Windows key, type in Disk Cleanup automatically populates. And remember, and just in case if you don't know, once you hit that start key is the Windows to your world. You can type anything in there and find it, or go to the internet if you don't have it as an option. After we do disk cleanup, we are going to come to defragment and optimize drives. But the first thing we're going to do is disk cleanup. A window is going to open. It's going to say, do you want to clean C? Because that's typically the default. Now you're going to notice my computer is working very quickly because I have an SSD I also have a lot of RAM because I use a lot of assistive technology, and that just requires more. I want you to down arrow and go through and check every single box in this list view, and then I want you to go to OK and clean it. So you're going to notice, and it's going to ask you, do you want to delete these files? Yes, these are not being used. These are just every single time you open a window, it's going to go there, and you want to get rid of those. And this is going to help speed it up. And of course, it's clean. So now I'm going to type in disk again, and I'm going to down arrow to defragment and optimize. Now I have SSD, you can see this, solid state drives. You do not ever defrag those. They don't need it. Only hard drives, hard disk drive, you can see I have very huge external drives. They're more than a terabyte. These are actually old. That's the reason why they're hard disk, and I'm talking old like 2 years. 2 years is ancient in technology times. 6 months gets pretty old. But I'm not going to get rid of them. They're great. They're over a terabyte. I back up absolutely everything because, like anything, technology can fail and will somewhere along the line. So back up your information. You can see my main drives are solid states. And of course, that is just solid, really, that if you want something that's not going to fail on you like a hard drive will, solid states are fantastic. But back up anything. You can see I've done this one day ago. It's not not a long time because I try to keep my computer clean because I'm doing remote instruction throughout the whole world every single day. And it's amazing. You have even slower bandwidth and a really slow computer, you're going to have a terrible connection. You keep your computer clean, and even with minimal bandwidth, you'll still have a great connection. So if you want a computer that runs really well, keep it clean. So I'm just going to click on optimize, and of course it's done. It's that fast. But once again, it's because I have a solid state and I have a whole lot of RAM to work this very quickly. Okay, so those 3 items plus your Malwarebytes, and once again, I highly suggest Malwarebytes. No, I do not get a kickback from this company, but I will promote really great companies, and Malwarebytes is one. And of course, it says last scan 62 days ago, so I'm just going to click scan now. And of course, it's going to take me through the process of scanning this, which occurs pretty quickly. The nice thing is, even if you haven't fully scanned it, it is scanning your computer every single time you open any window, which is absolutely wonderful. And of course, you can see I'm more than 50% through and it hasn't found any threats. And typically it won't because it is constantly scanning your computer. Okay, you do those every single week. Every single week, and your computer will run like it's new all the time, minus, conflicts with programs. Okay, hope that helped, and clean that computer up and get it working like new again. Now remember, when you do these cleanups, it's going to shut down slower and start up slower because it's doing updates, the correct updates that you want. So give it time, never force a shutdown, and never force a startup. Okay,